So let's keep talking about the uh, German philosophers and especially talk about Hegel. So we came from Kant, and Kant said it's impossible we have an experience in the cultural world, in the world of ethics, in the nominal world, right? So Hegel did not accept this because for Hegel, we have an experience also in the not material world. So it's an experience of the thoughts, right? So let's imagine that this is the object, right? The thing, the object. A subject will see this object, right? So here we can put the self, the subject. This is a first impression, a sensitive element, right? So the first thing, this object became inside the subject a thought, right? A thinking. Okay, so we have here this side objective, objective, and here subjective. Subjective, subjectivity, right? So the thought permits me know that there's a world outside me, and this is operates through a negation that determines. Determines. Well, these are the first two moments, right? So the it is it for something. For what? For the subject. So it for the subject. And this subject will transform the thought in an object. And here we start with the experience that is not material. It's an experience in the thinking process, right? And this will result in a synthesis, right? Of the object and the subject, the thought of the subject. And here we'll have the thought on the thoughts, the thinking on the thinking, right? So it for. This is the object. This is the subject. This is the object plus the subject, right? So it's the same thing of the same. And here we have what? The universality. that brings together the result of the movement among object and subject, right? And this universality that brings together the particularity world together with the individual world are the singularity. And here we have the universality. In a process of synthesis, right? Synthesis. The thèse, the antithèse, and the synthesis. And here we will have another moment, because the thought on the thought will become another object, right? So here we will have this as the first particularity, objectivity, right? The thought. And here we will have experience inside the subject. So it's the it for the subject again, right? But is also for the self. For the self. And here you have a third moment again. So you can see that there's a process. And this process, it's like an spiral. And this is why we can say that if Kant bring the rationalism to the extreme, what Hegel will do, bring the rationalism to the idealism, in the meaning that the object and the subject will be put together. So what is real is rational, and what is rational is real. And we can think that this movement that is dialectics, right? That demands a negation, a negative approach, as something that determines the thing. So the negation is not the nothing, but is something that is necessary to determination, right? And this negative that is used as a necessary element in the process of the enlightenment of the reason, right? Becoming the spirits, the Geist of the times. The spirit is the result of the activity of the reason, and the reason works with negative determinism in a dialectic process, right? So what Hegel will do is put together, if we think in ancient philosophy, Parmenides and Heraclitus, right? Because for Parmenides, The only thing is that it is. It's impossible, about not it is. And this is totally uh, related with the idea that the real is rational and the rational is real, as well as we will have together with Parmenides, of course, Heraclitus. Because the dialectical process already was showed to us by Heraclitus, right? So at the same time, the thing is and is not. Hegel will bring together what Hegel will do, the absolute, the idealism. He will bring together the object and the subject as the same. Dialectics. What is real is rational, what is rational is real.